Chapter 10, Funnel Vision. Oh, how Barb loves losers, I thought, watching J.J. the hero dog march around the yard with Chicken Mom on his tail and his face to the ground. Only an arrogant search and rescue dog could undergo years of training but not recognize a simple trap when it's right under his nose. Makes me laugh out loud. But Hero Dog isn't like Barb's usual rejects, the orphan baby birds, the mangy stray cats. I'll have to figure out his weak spot when I have him up close and personal. Welcome to my school, Hero Dog, I muttered. No medals and no parades here, pretty boy. Just my house, my yard, and my rules. Soon you'll meet one brilliant alpha dog who doesn't like company. I chuckled to myself, then leaped off the table in front of the window. On the way down, the funnel caught the edge of the lamp and it crashed to the floor. The lamp shattered. A bulb burst. 2 tiny chickens squawked. I couldn't have planned it better myself. Chapter 11. Why Me? Vince's shadow had disappeared, and the commotion made it clear that it no longer behooved us to rendezvous. I didn't have to turn around to tell what was going on behind me. Sugar was coming at me as fast as those freaky little chickadee legs would take her. She hadn't just inherited her mother's eyes. She'd inherited her mother's crazy. "You're going in, right?" asked Sugar. I rolled my eyes. "I'm not going anywhere until I have more information." "You have all the information you need. Poppy and Sweetie are in the house. You said so yourself." "No, I said the trail leads to the house. Are you listening to me? Do you even have ears?" For the first time that day, I bothered to check to make sure chickens had ears. "They do." Sugar looked over at the house. The back steps were just a few yards away. To the right was an old bird bath. To the left was a droopy tomato plant. Barb must have saved all the pretty for the front of the house. "I'm going in," Sugar chirped. She was off in a flash with her eyes locked on the doggy door. In that second, I was only sure of one thing. If she went in, she wasn't coming out. I grabbed her by the scruff of the neck and looked for someplace safe to stash her for a few minutes. I tossed her up on the bird bath. "Sit down and be quiet." She kicked a pebble at me. I thought about the small town in the Midwest that had held a parade in my honor after I pulled 3 tornado victims out from under a mountain of debris. If you had told me then that I'd someday be dodging pebbles tossed by a baby chicken, I would have bitten you. Hard. Like I said, I didn't belong here. I was as out of place in the country as the guy I once pulled out of a snowy cave in his pajamas. Life is strange, mister. Chapter 12. Come on down. The stairs leading up to the back door were steep and narrow. Each one sagged a little more than the one above it. The back door was rusty and crooked, with one small window and a floral shade. I steadied myself on my back paws and then peered in through the glass strip of I steadied myself on my back paws and then peered in through the strip of glass beneath the bottom of the shade. I could see down a long, dark corridor with a polished linoleum floor. Off to the right, I could just make out the edge of a refrigerator in an orange kitchen. Straight ahead at the end of the hallway was a dark room with a big screen TV showing a game show. The game show host was laughing while an energetic woman in a wrinkled green dress was jumping up and down. It was dizzying. I had to look away to clear my head. I looked back down the long, dark corridor. I could make out the dim, gleaming arc of a giant plastic cone. Vince was sitting on the couch, but only for a second. Before I could even get my front paws back down to the top step, he leaped off that couch and charged the back door. Except at the moment that Vince should have been crashing through the doggy door, he was just crashing. He was trying to get out, but the funnel had other ideas. That mutt was in the fight of his life with his own neck. He lost the fight. But I have to admit, at that moment, he'd have won just a little bit of my respect if it hadn't been for the fact that he spent his entire life drinking out of a toilet bowl. It was time to pull Sugar off the bird bath. One problem. There was nothing in that bird bath but dirty water and a wet note. Sugar was gone. I didn't need the note to tell me where she was. She was in the house. Call it a hunch. I met up with Moosh and Dirt back at my doghouse and showed them the note. 3 down, 1 to go. I thought Moosh might crack into a million pieces. Here are the hard facts. I can't get into that house. Vince will smell me coming a mile away. But we need more information if we're going to get them out of there. Dirt was all ears. Moosh was all mouth. I can fit through the door. I'll go in, she said. Her left foot was bouncing up and down again. That strange tick was really getting on my nerves. I've seen you under pressure, I answered. Bad plan. There's only one of us who can pull this off. Dirt planted her feet, raised her dark eyes, and stuck out her skinny chest. She looked like a toothpick with a head. She was about to speak when a ladybug flew by. Pretty polka dots, she remarked. Oh, brother.